March 10th, 2020, when I first received the news. Hey class, we're going to be closing school for a couple of weeks. As a 7th grader, I was ecstatic to hear the news that school was being shut down due to some distant virus I knew nothing about. I mean, it was almost as if I won the lottery. Throughout middle school, I found most of my days locked up in my room attending online Zoom classes. At the time, my introverted personality loved online school. I mean, I didn't have to interact with anyone. As a class of 25 student, I still vividly remember my first day of high school, especially because it was fresh out of the pandemic. I was excited for 9th grade because I had no idea what it would be like. But I soon found my life completely changed from that online setting. I was overtaken by stress in many ways, whether it would be interacting with anyone or facing every test. I soon learned, though, in order to succeed, I had to find ways to overcome the stress I faced. In today's talk, I will discuss the role of stress in our lives, how it impacts us as teenagers, and most importantly, what we can do to overcome this stress. High school is the foundation for students' career in the future. Our experiences and situations we find ourselves in shape our character and potential. But one of the major challenges we face as teenagers is how to deal with stress. Stress has long been associated with high school life and has been carelessly thrown around in conversations. But what makes a student truly stressed? Is it the fear of disappointing one's parents? Is it the fear of not fitting in? Or is it the struggle to maintain multiple commitments? Unlike other medical conditions, stress can manifest in a variety of ways, making it difficult to pinpoint its origin. However, to correctly understand its role, we must understand its medical definition. The medical definition of stress is the body's response to a challenge or demand. It typically presents itself in a feeling of emotional or physical tension. Now, it is important to note that there is such a thing known as eustress, or good stress, which pushes people to move out of their comfort zone and challenge themselves. The stress you may experience before you start a race can be considered eustress, as your hormones are surging, getting you ready for the task ahead of you. A similar example is right here with public speaking. Before I started this talk, I have to admit that I had butterflies in my stomach. But thanks to eustress, I was able to get ready to deliver my presentation. We are stressed for good reasons. As students, we always want to achieve more. But with the recent COVID-19 pandemic only exacerbating mental health illnesses, it is imperative that we focus on the glaringly negative aspects of stress. In 2022, the American Institute of Stress notes that Americans ages 15 to 29 reported having the highest levels of stress, about 64%. Cross River Therapy also notes that American high schoolers, about 45%, admit to being stressed every single day. Simply put, this data highlights the alarming prevalence of stress in our society. Young people have to constantly grapple with stress as they try to juggle between classes, extracurriculars, and maintaining a good social life. Now, to better understand this in the context of our school, let's take it to a smaller level, the classroom setting. Irvington High School is ranked the top 5% of public schools in California. As it is situated in the Bay Area, the hub of technology and innovation, it is the embodiment for the rat race of academic achievement. In our classrooms, we are constantly running a battle among ourselves against our peers. Why do we participate in classroom discussions? Not for the fun of it, of course, but rather to make an impression so that we can earn those glowing letters of recommendation. Academic validation has crept onto our students' personal lives as we constantly need to find ways to impress admissions officers. What's more, we as students are consistently driven by unhealthy peer pressure. To illustrate a similar example of this phenomena, we can refer to the Oscar nominee movie, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. In this movie, Evelyn Kwan is a laundromat owner, but she has a very hectic life. She struggles to balance between a divorce matter with her husband, a tense relationship with her daughter, and a demanding job. She is soon called to save the multiverse and has to parallel universe jump and acquire new skills such as karate, which she did not have before. She is constantly dissatisfied with her own life and seeks validation from parallel universe jumping. Sometimes we as students often question our own decisions and imagine ourselves in a better, different reality. To shift away from that negative mindset, we should focus on improving our own strengths. The way to do so, engage in activities that allow us to artistically express ourselves. So, what is art and why should we care? I'm sure many of you heard this three-letter word before, but to clearly define it, art is an application of human creative skill and imagination. In other words, it is a form of creative expression that is subjective to each of us. Our past memories and current experiences shape who we are, and I like to think of art as the perfect medium to portray those memorable moments. In my life, art has significantly helped me become the person I am today. When I was a young girl, I was extremely shy. I preferred to keep to myself, and my social anxiety prevented me from talking clearly with others. But when I was 7 years old, I wrote my first poem. It started off with me singing a little song I made in my head, and with that, I flourished. I discovered my talent for writing and the true passion I have for it. Over the many years, I have written a lot of poetry, and although it sounds cliché, it has helped me present my voice. By writing poetry, I am able to weave emotional messages that have a long-lasting impact on people. I truly believe that poems are much more authentic than anything materialistic because they are thoughtful and come from the heart. Writing poetry has been my form of creative self-expression, but I mainly want to emphasize the need for students to engage in one particular activity to boost creative growth. This can be anything through journaling, painting, dance, or more. Creative self-expression is extremely important in our fast-paced, technology-driven society. It allows us to take time off of things and gives us a chance to self-reflect and relax. Moreover, creativity has a neurobiological basis, as participation in art activities can activate multiple neuronal pathways in the body, allowing for a better regulation of stress response. To give you a perfect example of this, the American Journal of Psychology conducted an experiment where they gave 40 participants art supplies and told them that they could do whatever they wanted in a period of 45 minutes. At the end of this experiment, researchers found out that about 75% of participants experienced a decrease in cortisol, a hormone that is released in response to stress, essentially showing how therapeutic art is to the body. Irvington High School is an art magnet school, but the truth is, creativity falls flat due to limited opportunities like our only CCA program. There should be viable solutions students can take in order to alleviate their stress. The number one way we can make a change is to bring awareness to the more creative opportunities students can pursue from the get-go, as soon as they enter high school. So, to all the freshmen out there, I highly encourage you to join at least one creative club, such as Creative Writing Club, or even a dance team, which can make a whole world of difference to your high school experience. The second solution I pose is to introduce more art-based workshops and art therapy programs that allow you to cultivate self-expression and cultural identity through the student body. These workshops are already existing through nonprofits such as the Foundation for Art and Healing, which is known to improve the mental health of millions of students. By encouraging an environment that sparks creativity, we will be able to take a step forward as a school and change the lives of all our students. I wrote a poem last year and would like to share it with you. I am silent. My mind is a blank canvas, waiting for a thought. I am silent. My mind is a blank canvas. I'm afraid I will rot. I am silent. My mind is a blank canvas, but then thoughts begin to form. My mind no longer silent, my mind a stained canvas. Ideas in my head swarm like bees. Sometimes, while I cannot speak, I can write. While I can't win, I can fight. My words are my path, they are my light. Stress has always been an inevitable part of my life. There were times where I felt silenced and extremely overwhelmed by the anxiousness that consumed me. But in those moments of darkness, writing comforted me. Creative self-expression was my refuge, where I am still able to communicate my inner thoughts and experience resilience today. So take on that universal language of art and seek the happiness you deserve. Thank you.